Welcome aboard for this driver's eye view journey from London Euston to Watford Junction, one of the most historic and fascinating stretches of railway in Britain. Today we will travel out of the heart of London along the southern end of the West Coast Main Line, following a route that has been carrying passengers for almost 2 centuries. Although the journey is relatively short, it packs in an incredible amount of railway history, engineering achievement, busy suburban operations, and some fascinating sights that make it a must-see route for any railway enthusiast. Our journey begins at London Euston, one of Britain's most important railway stations and the southern terminus of the West Coast Main Line. Euston was opened in 1837 as the London terminus of the pioneering London and Birmingham Railway, making it London's first intercity railway station. From here, the railway would eventually grow into the backbone of the network connecting London with Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, and beyond. As we depart Euston, take a moment to appreciate the significance of this location. Nearly every major development in British railway history has passed through here, from the earliest steam locomotives of the Victorian era to today's high-speed electric trains. The original station featured the famous Doric Arch, one of the great architectural symbols of railway history, although sadly it was demolished during the station's reconstruction in the 1960s. Leaving the platforms, our train enters a complex network of tracks that serve commuter, regional, intercity, and freight services. This section of railway is among the busiest in the country, handling thousands of train movements every week. As we accelerate northwards, we pass through the Camden area. In the earliest days of the railway, this location marked the limit where steam locomotives were permitted. Trains were originally hauled up the steep incline from Euston using stationary engines and ropes, a fascinating reminder of how different railway operation was during the 1830s. Soon, we approach the area around Primrose Hill. Hidden beneath the urban landscape is the historic Primrose Hill Tunnel, one of London's earliest railway tunnels and among the oldest railway tunnels constructed anywhere in Britain. It remains a remarkable piece of Victorian engineering. As we continue north, the railway corridor widens considerably. To our left and right are depots, engineering facilities, and railway infrastructure that support the operation of trains across the entire West Coast Main Line. Ahead lies Willesden Junction, one of London's most important railway interchanges. Although passengers today know it primarily as a London Overground station, railway enthusiasts recognise it as a major junction where routes converge from across the capital. Freight trains, passenger services, and engineering movements all pass through this busy area throughout the day. Nearby is the vast Willesden Freight Complex, a reminder that rail freight remains a vital part of Britain's transport network. Container traffic, construction materials, and intermodal services regularly use this route, making it one of the country's busiest freight corridors. As our train continues to gather speed, we begin following the historic alignment of the London and Birmingham Railway. Opened fully in 1838, this route revolutionised travel between London and the Midlands, reducing journey times dramatically and helping to fuel Britain's industrial revolution. We now approach Wembley. Most people immediately associate Wembley with football and major events. And while the famous stadium is not always visible from the railway, this area has long been connected with transport and industry. Wembley Central Station comes into view. Today it serves London Overground, London Underground and National Rail services, making it an important interchange for commuters travelling into and out of the capital. Beyond Wembley, the railway begins to take on a slightly different character. Dense urban development gradually gives way to more suburban landscapes, though the route remains extremely busy. This section showcases one of the great strengths of British railways. On adjacent tracks, you may see local stopping services, long-distance intercity trains heading for Birmingham or Manchester, freight trains carrying goods across the country, and occasionally engineering trains maintaining the railway itself. A little further ahead lies Stonebridge Park, home to one of the key depots used by London Underground's Bakerloo line. Keen observers may spot underground rolling stock alongside National Rail services, highlighting the unique mix of operators that share this corridor. The route we are following is closely associated with what became known as the Watford DC line. Developed during the early 20th century to provide additional suburban capacity, the line introduced electric services between Euston and Watford and helped transform commuter travel in North London. Full electric operation between Watford Junction and Euston began in 1922. Continuing north, we pass Harrow and then approach Queen's Park. This station marks the point where London Underground's Bakerloo line joins the route, sharing tracks with National Rail services for much of the journey towards Watford. This arrangement is quite unusual and creates a fascinating operational railway. Bakerloo line trains, London Overground services, and main line trains all coexist within the same corridor. As we head towards Kensal Green, Brondesbury and South Hampstead on adjacent suburban routes, the density of railway infrastructure is a reminder of London's enormous transport needs. The next major landmark is Harrow Wealdstone. This station has long been one of the most important points on the route. It serves local services, London Overground, London Underground and Main Line trains. Railway enthusiasts will know Harrow Wealdstone for its significance in railway history. The station remains an important operational hub and offers excellent opportunities for train spotting thanks to the variety of traffic passing through. North of Harrow Wealdstone, the landscape gradually becomes greener. Although still firmly within Greater London, there is a noticeable change as suburban housing becomes less dense and open spaces begin to appear. This section of the West Coast Main Line demonstrates how the railway evolved through successive eras. Originally built for steam locomotives, it was extensively modernised and electrified during the 1960s. The electrification programme transformed rail travel, introducing faster, cleaner and more reliable services between London and the major cities of Britain. The overhead wires visible throughout the journey are a direct result of those modernisation efforts, which helped establish the West Coast Main Line as Britain's premier electric railway. As we continue north, keep an eye out for the constant flow of Avanti West Coast services racing towards destinations such as Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool and Glasgow. This railway remains one of Europe's busiest mixed traffic railways and continues to play a crucial role in the national economy. Soon, the outskirts of Watford begin to appear. Watford has been an important railway town since the 19th century, and its railway connections contributed significantly to the growth and prosperity of the area. Ahead is our destination, Watford Junction. The station first opened in the railway age and developed into a major interchange connecting main line routes, local suburban services and branch lines. The present station traces much of its history to expansions undertaken during the Victorian and Edwardian eras. As we approach the platforms, take a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey we have just completed. In only a relatively short distance, we have travelled through nearly 200 years of railway history. From the pioneering London and Birmingham Railway of the 1830s, through the age of steam, the great electrification schemes of the 20th century, and into the modern railway of today. This route tells the story of Britain's railway development like few others can. For railway enthusiasts, the route from London Euston to Watford Junction is highly recommended. It offers a fascinating mix of history, modern operations, freight traffic, suburban railways, underground services and some of the busiest railway infrastructure in the country. Thank you very much for joining me on this driver's eye view journey from London Euston to Watford Junction. I hope you have enjoyed the ride and learned something new about this historic railway. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, share it with fellow railway enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel for many more driver's eye view journeys, railway histories, and fascinating rail adventures from across Britain and around the world. Until next time, thanks for watching and safe travels.